Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, can you see my screen?
I am. I'm seeing it.
Okay, thank you. So, all these diagrams, I believe you still recall what we talked about in all these diagrams. When I was watching the recorded video, I observed that the drawing lines were not that legible. Is it like that too while you are watching? I mean, like,
of these sketches you made?
Yes.
But I can actually see them, though they are a bit far. They are a bit far, but
I mean, these that we are even working on, the GA we are working
on. They are not legible, but sometimes, as we are even speaking now, I can zoom with my hand.
Okay.
As the lecture is going on, I can zoom.
Other bright colors.
Okay.
It's far better, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. So as time goes on, I'll be using. I will change the color. Like this beam outline, I will change it from red. I think the red too is a little bit. How is the beam now? Is it showing? I've changed the color to something like blue.
So we have yellow and somehow blue.
Yes. How is it? Is it far more legible now?
It's almost the same thing.
With the previous one we have, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just continue managing like that. But my own concern is if you are not seeing it very well, let me just know so I can change the color to something else. Any of the drawing that we're working on, you cannot see it. Let me change this.
Let me just go on.
Okay. I want to change the color of this planted color. Okay. Now, where we stopped last week, we were able to conclude that first floor GA. Then we terminated some columns. Abi?
Yeah.
Then before our times runs of the last week, we're trying to plant some columns around to see how we can plant columns to support the roof. I want to change this. I've used yellow before. I'm sorry. I need to pick a better color. Oof. Let's use red. So I'm using red for for columns now. Then this blue, sky blue kind of color, then is to be for our beams. So the red, this is the column coming from, those are the successful columns. The one that will go from the ground floor up to the first floor, up to the roof. So now we are trying to fix some columns, that are going to resist the load of the roof. So let me change the color of these two. Okay, there's no need. Okay, copy. Yeah. Okay. So we are taking this point as our first reference point to plant our column. So what we are doing now is this column now, this grid line 1 prime. This point is grid line 1 prime, 8 prime. 1 prime, 8 prime. What is 1 prime, A prime on here. That means we are planting this here. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
So that means the column I've just fixed now, that I placed on the beam there, is going to be at this point on the first floor. You understand the gist now?
Yes.
You know what we did last week was we cancelled some columns and we said we are going to plant some columns to support the roof layout. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't want to do that first. Don't let me be too forward. Now let's superimpose our roof and see how we are going to support it. You know, before you create support, you tend to see what you want to support first. It is what you want to support that is going to tell you how you are going to support it. You understand?
Yeah.
Yes. So now, there's our roof layout. So these are roof layouts. So what do we do here now? We have not done something. Can you tell me the procedure? This is my roof layout. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
So I want to ask, what's the next procedure? I want to superimpose this roof layout on the first floor architectural layout. So these are roof floor now. What am I going to do? I want to superimpose, but there is something
Superimpose it.
Yes, I want to superimpose this layout, this whole layout on the first floor. What am I going to do now?
Yes.
Something is, as I'm highlighting, something is telling me you should. That's what I'm talking
You group it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So the first thing we do, we group. I've highlighted it, then we group it. Group. It has become one. Then after grouping, what do you do? So this class today is because it's Sunday. It might be for just 1 hour, 30 minutes. So and
Okay.
I want us to finish this roof layout. Once we are done with the roof layout, we know our next class is going to be modeling. Then before that time, we must have installed. We chat on that how we are going to get our software installed. So
Okay.
please let's be moving to that so we can maximize the time.
Okay.
So now I've grouped it. What next? You can see this one
We
has
now
something.
superimpose.
Nope. This one has something. Is grouped and something. This one too is grouped and something. What do we do here too? Is grouped. You have like 4 or 5 colors here. It's always good you unify your color. That's the next thing. After grouping, you give it a color. Do you get that?
You do what?
You give it a color.
Okay. Color. Okay.
To distinguish it from other what's it called? From other layouts. Then you pick a uniform intersection of grid line E8. I'm picking E8. Is E8. This E8 here. So from this E8, I will fix it on the first floor. E8 is here. This is E8 here. So now I have my roof on my what's it called now? My roof on my first floor layout. Do you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. And as I've said, before you proceed with anything, you check the grid lines. That are they really parallel? Are they on each other? Is 8 on 8 for ground on first floor? Is 8 grid line 8 on first floor the same? Is it on grid line 8 on the roof? Are they the same? Okay, this is grid line 8. This is line 7, line 7. Is there any? Okay, this one is not a big deal because this is the main thing that we need. This one is just to call out. This is just a call out, so it's not a problem. This one too, this one's okay, be nice. So the grid lines are okay. From the ground floor up to the roof, the grid lines are perfect. So we can continue with our what's it called, with our beam outline. As I've said, it's very, very important to do all these checks, because sometimes you might have the layout you are superimposing might not be sitting directly, or might not fit as expected on the layout you are imposing it on. So it's always good to have a double check on your drawing before you start work, because it might create it might lead to double work. So to avoid that, it's always good to do a check. Now, how do we start? Now, this is just an if. I will highlight my roof layout. My roof layout, is white. We have given it white color. Then I will now see that is the external of my roof, does it correspond with the outline of my first floor? The roofing system is going to be on the first floor. So if it's not corresponding, that means there is a problem there. So we check around. Okay, is there any issue? I don't think there is any issue here. There is any issue at all. There is no issue at all. And what we have gotten from our section is that this roof is one way. What I mean by one way is the draining system is to the back. Is to the back here. From this arrow we are seeing, it's saying this roof, everything, all the water is going to go to the back. It's just one direction. And we can see from our section that at the edges, the architect has designed the roof such that on the right, left, and front elevation, there are block walls there. So the roof is hidden. So anything we want to do along the perimeters of the roof beam, we have to have like an extension, probably of column, or perhaps at the top here, where I have my cursor going around, or at the top here, we have like a tie beam that is going to hold the columns that we have extended beyond the roof level here, that we have extended up here. So we might have a tie beam that will go all the way around. You get my point. When you start modeling, you appreciate the beauty of what I'm talking about more. Now, what else? We have checked the roof round, and it's sitting well on the what's it called, the ground floor, on the first floor rather. Now the next thing now is I'll pick my roof, my beam outline layer, my beam layer first. That's the next thing. Now where's the beam outline? Beam outline. These are beam outline. I will now check which beam can work. Now we have what they call here. We have block wall going all the way, going all the way, going all the way like this, going all the way like this. We can actually take the trajectory of the block wall to formulate our beams. So with that, I can say, very good. I can say I will have from here up to this place. What is that? This is 6.8. Now, when you are doing your roof layout, you consider, okay, when the carpenters, when they are placing their planks, is the space between your beams, is it going to be enough for a standard, probably at least a standard length of wood that you have for your roofing system? I think standard is 6 meters, Abi. Is it 6 meters? Normal wood, all this wooden wood.
I mean the planks?
Yeah, the planks.
1 by 12.
No, not 1 by 12. 2 by 3, 2 by 4,
Okay.
2 by 2.
It varies most times. You don't have.
Yeah, but standard you have like 5 meters, Abi.
Something like that.
Something around 5 meters, 4.8. But most of them are not. Carpenters, they can always slap them together.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem. So in that regard, So that's the mentality we are going to use while drawing our roof layout. And we'll still not forget to keep our beams as hidden as possible while still drawing it. Although you might have what's it called? You still have your ceiling that is going to cover it, but being and anything might happen, they might want to change something later in the future. So it's always good to or for what's it called? For load distribution sake, it's always good that you place um, your beam on your block wall. So that's that. I pick my PL, that's polyline. We have already existing beam here. Is it going to work? Yes, it's going to work. Do you have any beam here? No, there's no beam here. So we draw another beam here. No, we're still using the first floor layout. I just took out some of the beams there. So you can see with that. So we just add and remove the one that will not be useful. Okay, we have drawn this, we have drawn this. Okay, do you have a beam here? We have a beam here. Do you have a beam here? Yes, we have a beam here. Yes, we have a beam here. Do you have, is this beam really necessary? This beam here, is it necessary?
No, it's not necessary since you have.
Is it necessary?
Okay, it is because it protrudes outside. It's necessary.
Exactly, it's necessary. It's necessary. But I'm having a second thought. I'm thinking we can have something more. Okay, let's just leave it. Let's leave it. Let's leave it. Okay. Because I was thinking of, okay, we can have another option. What you have said is right. But another option that is coming, GA does not have calculation. It depends on the suit of the designer. I might decide to say, okay, I will terminate my beam here. Terminate this beam. Terminate it here. Are you following me? Then I will have this beam here. I will extend it to come and meet this beam. And I'm going to draw here later. And say, I'll stop it. Come on, meet this one. Let me show you what I've done. So you can shoot it more. We are using 50 to do this, but I don't want to use 50. Let me use 75. 5,000 millimeters. Okay, this is what I've done here. Do you see that? The beam we are talking, hello?
Yeah.
Are you there? Okay.
Yeah.
The beam we are talking about is this beam. It was like this before.
Yeah.
Right? It was like this before. I was the opinion that we can actually take it off and have this as a simple cantilever on this column. Do you understand? It is this cantilever that is going to pick this beam that we have drawn here. Do you understand my point? Then I'm having an intention to delete this beam, to take this beam off, because there is no point of having this beam. Here already is a void. We are working on the roof now. And this beam too is not necessary. We are not having any void here. It's not necessary. So I can easily take this beam down, have another beam that will draw all the way down, take an offset 230. And have something like this. See what I've done? Can you see it?
Okay.
What we have before was this beam. It's extended to this beam. Do you understand? Then we have this beam extending.
Okay, I get it now.
You
So we
understand?
eliminated that one and then made use of the perimeter beam.
Yes,
Make
yes, yes,
after
yes,
that one the perimeter beam. Since it has to
yes,
do with the roof,
yes.
placing
So
of
it's more
planks.
economical now. Yes.
Mm.
You just lay their planks, lay it. In fact, what we have here, the distance from here to here is still small. This 4.2, and from here to here is 4.65. And from here, I believe from here to here will also be 4.65. 4 point is even 4.42. So what we have basically here is economical enough. Do you get my point?
Yeah.
So let me bring back our drawing. I moved it by 75. So based on what I've shown you, we are here now. We have done our GA to this extent, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's proceed. We have our perimeter beam here all the way. We have it all the way to this place, but it's going to stop here. It's going to stop here. We have our beam here. Our beam, we draw another beam here. Our roof reach that place. We can offset 230. So we terminate this beam here, because that's where our roof stops. The beams I drew the other time from here, it stops here because that's where the roof stops. Then our beams go, our roof goes like this. Where did this stop? Okay, it also moves all the way like this, so we need to draw another beam here. Our roof, sure. Okay, roof is here. Is there. We take an offset to 30. Trim this off. I'm still on the perimeter. We have drawn this. We have drawn this. We have drawn this. Here's our roof. Here's our roof. Our roof still goes still here too. It reaches this place. So we draw another one. Okay. Let's take it from here. Stops on this column. Take an offset. 230. Okay. Our roof, where does it stop? Okay, it goes all the way, but we have a beam, already existing beam there. Okay, that's good. We don't have any issue. Then our beam, our roof also, it passed through this place. So we need to draw another beam here. Here. We take an offset 230. That's that. Then our roof. Okay, our roof reached this place. It goes all the way, but we already have an existing. Yes, we already have. But our roof does not extend to this place. It stops. This design stops on the first floor, on the before the roof. But we can always confirm. We can confirm that from the first floor, from the front elevation rather. Here's our front elevation. This is our front elevation. What am I talking about? Okay, I'm talking about this guy. Doesn't extend to the roof. Do you have a section that talks about that? Okay, let me check any of my right or left elevation. Where is my right or left elevation? Not really showing. Not really showing. Okay, let's. This is it here. This is what I'm talking about here. Okay, it extends to the roof. So we need to leave it. We need to leave it. Extend to the roof. extend to the roof, but this is not there. This is not there. Okay, offset, okay, that's fine. Okay, the perimeter beam here is there. The perimeter beam here, we are still going to draw that later. Do we have anything here? Okay, let's offset this to 30. 30. Okay. With this, I can say we are done with the perimeter beams. With all the perimeter beams. Let's check it. Let's check. Let's check what we have. I can take an offset here, 750,000 millimeters. Check what we have so far. So now, our perimeter beams, this is not part of it. We take it off. This one is also not part of it. We take it off. So our perimeter beams goes like this, goes like this, goes like this, comes like this, comes like this, comes like this, and it went in a bit, and it comes in, it comes out here. I don't think this is there. This is not there. This is not there. Is it there? No, it's not there. It's not there. See, this is what we have there. So it's not part of the roof. It's not part of the roof. So what we do now, we extend this beam to meet this beam. Are you following me?
Yeah, I'm following you.
Thank you. Okay. This two stops here. It goes all the way, all the way, all the way. So with this, we are done with our external beams. We are done with drawing our external beams. So the next thing is we draw our internal beams. So we take this in 25,000 based on it. So let's see how we can support it internally, how we can draw our internal beams with reference to our external beams. Our internal beams with reference to our external beams. We are done with it to this extent. Then what else? What are the options we have? What are the options we have? Okay. Yes, here we have something here. You know, I said this roof is a one-sided, what's it called? It drains to one side. So it is very important that we have an extra beam here. That beam is going to be an upstand downstand. What do I mean by upstand downstand? Because this place is obviously a slab on the roof. Why this place on that same level is going to be void. So I personally prefer to have an upstand beam because if it's raining, this slab is going to retain water, and water here might tends to go in this direction. You understand? And as it's going as the water is moving in this direction, it's moving into the void, and the void leads to the ceiling. So these are some of the mistakes that we some people make. If you are having roof slab, it's always advisable you have an upstand beam around it, and that upstand is going to serve like and it's going to, after having upstand beam itself, you are still going to waterproof it. Some people, they depend on block wall. Block wall is not dependable. They will tell you, okay, after doing my block wall, I'm still going to waterproof. Waterproof has limits. Once the effectiveness of the waterproof elapses, there is high tendency of the roof leaking. By the time the water here has exceeded the what's it called, certain limit, the block gradually is going to be losing strength. It's going to be losing strength. So that's why sometimes you say they really waterproof the roof, but in like 6 months later, you see everything has become something else, messy. So here now is advisable that we have an upstand beam. What I mean by an upstand beam is probably a beam that will go up above the slab, like let's say 300 mm or 250 mm, as the case may be, depending on how the engineer wants. But I prefer minimum 300. With that, there is no rain that will, so far they are still going to have drain here. There is no rain that will be so much that is going to exceed that. That in fact, if it's going to the system, you now know, okay, the roof beam has done its own part. It's just that okay, probably the drain is not working perfectly. You understand my point? So what I'm trying to say in essence is it's not always good as an engineer to depend solely on waterproofing. You do your own structural part of the work, then you leave the you assume there is no waterproofing system at all. And you do your own part of the work. So on that note, I'm going to create another beam here that is going to extend from here to here. So with this beam I've created, I will ask with my architect that architect come. You see this your slab here, please. You are going to reduce this your roof here. It's going to start from here, not from here again. Because this beam is always advisable that we have our beam running all the way like this. If the architect did not agree, fine, it's not a big deal. What you are going to do is you are just going to create your beam. It's going to start from here. You take an offset 30. So instead of having a continuous beam that starts here where my cursor is, that starts here and ends here, but from here to here is going to be an upstand downstand beam. But here it's going to be okay. Here also is going to be an upstand downstand beam. Okay, you understand? Instead of having that, you just have, if the architect do not agree to shift this your roof from this point to this point, this is just how many mm? This is just like 180 shifting. Obviously they might agree, but if the architect is the adamant type, okay, we will just create another beam here. So here your beam, you are going to have like an eccentricity on this beam. This beam coming from here will stop here, then you have another beam that will start from here and end here. But I will assume that our architect, as I've said, is a considerate person and you understand the economical part of design. So to avoid unnecessary load imposed, to avoid unnecessary load on our structure, so he has agreed that he's going to shift this roof to this point, which is fine. So I'm done with this internal beam here, and I'll explain what we are going to make it to be. Then what else? What else? This beam. Okay. 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 Here I can create another beam. This beam I can extend it to this other beam here. This beam, I'll extend it to this beam here. So now with that, we are going to have a whole panel here, which is fine. We are going to have another whole panel here. Panel or void, though, not slab. Panel here, panel here. Okay, it remains this area. What can we have in this area? Is this not too long? I'm considering this length from here to here. If it's not more than 5 meters, I'll just leave it. 6.1 meters. It's not a big deal. I think the carpenters can work around it. This is what I'm talking about. Let me make the drawing so you can see what I'm talking about. 1500. This is what we are having currently. I'm looking at this space that is too big. It's too wide rather.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of probably extending this beam to come and meet this beam here. Then this beam come and meet this beam here. But can this really work? If we are going to terminate, if we are going to erase this beam and have the space from here to here, that's 6.14, which I think is possible. Even if they want to lay their wood, I mean the carpenter aspect too. If they want to lay their wood, they can easily join two woods with proper lapping. It's going to work here. Do you understand my point?
Yeah.
Yeah. And here too, here is not a big deal. Oh, you can extend this actually to meet this. we can have something like this. But I'm not too satisfied with having two beams following each other here. I will erase this. So this is what I want us to have. You can still criticize it. You're going to have this space. You're going to have this space. This place is fine. It's fine. It's okay. There's no big deal here. I think it's the drawing is okay now. The drawing is okay now. In terms of beam arrangements, it's okay. Based on my own perspective, it's fine. So now let me bring my roof alone to see how it's going to be. 25,000. Okay, it's working well. It's working well. It's working well. Then we have slab here, which is fine. We have provided slab there. Okay, is there any feature here? What is this? Okay, this is just a design. It's nothing. Our roof actually stops here. It stops here. And we have like a slab here. We have, this is the only place where we have slab. This place is a design. So there's nothing to worry about. You can use steel or something here. Okay, with that, our roof is working with our roof layout that we have created. When I take this off by 100,000, and I bring back my first floor, my roof, my first floor plan on 5,000. Complete the support system. Do you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now we now start planting our columns. We have a column here. We have a column here. If let me start from here, from this point where my cursor is now. We want to start planting columns. Now, this column is supporting this beam that is shooting out to support this beam. But at this end, there is no support for this beam. So that means it is very, very important we have a beam, we have a column here. So that will be the first place where we are going to plant our column. And don't forget, we have beam underneath. We have beam on the first floor that we are going to plant this column on.
Okay.
You get my point?
Yeah.
Although later we are going to see it. Okay, now with this column that I've planted here, this beam, this whole beam, they are okay. Because how is it going to be supported? This column will support this cantilever that is shooting out to support this beam, and this column is going to support this beam. This column is going to support the cantilever that is shooting out to support this beam, and at this end, this column will also support this beam. That is fine. Case closed. Here too, what are we having? This column is supporting the beam that is shooting out to support this beam. This column is supporting the beam that is shooting out to support this beam. Then we need another column to be planted here. So we carry this guy to come and do the work for us. Let me pick the perfect angle. So that's that. With this area, the support system here is stable. Is stable. Now, this beam, is it supported? Yes, it's supported. It's going to be supported by this beam. But let me check from here to here. What are we having? We are having 6.22. From here to here is 6.22. But our Okay. To break the span, I can actually plant another column here. I can plant another column here. I can plant another column here. From here to here is what? 5.625 is fine. So from the whole of this area now that I've created, we have enough support there. We have enough column, and the beams that are supporting beams, they are perfectly okay. Now we move from here. We planted one column here. We have another column here. Then here we are going to use this beam coming from this column to support the beam coming from this column. Do you understand what I've just said now? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you understand what I've just said now?
Please go back again to that.
Okay. I said here I will not put any column here. Where my cursor is moving around, I will not introduce any column. Why? Because the distance from here to here is just 5.625, and I have a column here, I have another column here, and a beam is connecting the two together. So I can actually make a primary and secondary beam system here.
Okay.
Do you understand? So with that mindset now, which one is going to be a primary and which one is going to be a secondary beam at this junction? Is it the vertical? The vertical is going to be what? The vertical is this beam.
Primary.
You said what?
The vertical should be primary beam.
Okay, the horizontal will be
secondary.
Okay, you are right. All right, that's what it's going to be. And what does it mean having it primary and secondary beam?
The primary beam is usually the load-bearing beam.
Okay.
It takes most of the load. Yeah.
So how is it going to be placed on site? In terms of site interpretation now, you said one is primary and the second one is secondary. What does that translate to be on site?
That means the secondary will have to rest on the primary to help carry the load.
Okay, that's good. So what we are trying to say in essence is when they are placing reinforcement, the bottom reinforcement of this vertical beam will be placed first. Then they will now lay the one of this horizontal on it.
On it.
Exactly. Thanks for getting that. Okay, then we proceed. Is there any column here? There is no column here. So we need to introduce columns here. We have terminated. Okay, good. We have terminated columns there. So we can easily introduce another column here. We can introduce another column here. The shooting out should not shoot out. Take the external reference. Okay. So I'm introducing another column here. This column is sitting here, or don't let me introduce it there. Let me introduce it here. I'm introducing a column here. There is a column here. There is a column here. So this beam is perfect. This beam, this horizontal beam is perfect with what I've done now. I want you to, there is something I want to put across to you now. There are two options here. I have the option of, we have this horizontal beam that I've highlighted. Can you see the beam?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the beam I'm talking about. Can you see the highlighted beam?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Now here at this point, we have a support. It's going to be a primary, secondary beam. You understand? I said at this junction, is going to be a secondary beam because it is this vertical beam that is going to support it. Then we move to this point. At this point, it's going to be another secondary beam. It's going to be secondary beam too, because we have column here and we have another column here, and we have a beam connecting them, and it's short, so we can easily allow this beam to rest on this beam. Are you following?
Yeah.
Then we are moving to this part, to this junction. Now we have two options here. It's either we plant our column here or we plant it here. So based on your judgment, which one do you think is okay? Is it, I'll call this one. I'll call this one and call this 2. We have two options, option 1 and option 2. Which one will you go for?
I'll prefer 2.
Why?
Directly is, I'll prefer it because one is linking 2 beams at that particular point that is directly in contact with the column itself. Then make this other one a cantilever beam.
Very good. Very good. Yes, you are right. You are right. Your option is right, and that is what I'm also going for. But there is another thing I want you to take note. Now, if I'm taking 1, it's going to increase the effective length of this span, to 6.825. Do you understand my point?
Yeah.
But if I'm going to plant it here, it's going to reduce it to 6.22. Although this beam is long, but having it 450 and just roof beam, 450 mm deep, and having it as roof beam that is going to have light load, the 450 beam is going to work at that length. You understand my point?
Yeah.
It's going to work. So it's always good you reduce the effective length. You consider the effective length of all the members that the column will be supporting and see, okay, which one is going to be far more okay. So with that, we are going to go with option 2.
Yeah.
We take off option 1. So with that, we are done with the support system for this beam. Which other beam is left? This beam, this vertical beam. Okay, this column is going to support this beam indirectly because the cantilever passing through this column is going to support this beam. Am I right?
Where?
I mean, the cantilever coming from this column that we have planted now, the cantilever coming out from it is going to support this beam. Abi?
Yes, it will.
Then here now, where should we plant another column? I'm thinking we should do the same that we have done here. We plant it here. Plant our column there. But we have a column that is already existing here, so which makes this a very nice what was it called, concept for us. So you can just easily leave it. Then here, do we have anything? Here we have beams, columns here. We have column here. We have column here. So this beam is already supported. This beam too is supported. We don't have any issue with that. This beam is it supported? No. Is it supported? Do you have any column here?
Where? Answer your question.
Here.
Okay. There's no column there, I think.
There's no column here. There's no column.
But what about the position there? Is that a sit out?
Which one?
Where you have these 2 special dots. Is that a shootout there? Yeah. Is that a void? Yeah.
This,
is that
right?
a void?
No, you know,
And
we are
that area
working
is that
on the, you know, we are working on the first floor layout.
Okay. So
We have considered this while we are doing the first floor layout.
Okay.
Do you understand? And moreover, this is not a sit out or something. It's just like a pergola. Let me show you.
Okay.
This is it here. It's a pergola that they place on the slab. You know what this pergola now?
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay.
This is it. See it here.
Okay.
It's a simple, all these aluminum sheets, they can use it to do it. They will just make it L the way it is here.
Okay.
Then they will attach it to this beam that we have created here. You attach it to this beam that we have created here. This beam. Can you see it? This one I'm touching.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. So now I'm talking of this beam now. We need to support it. We need to support it.
That means there will be a column at that end where your cursor is now.
Yes, we need to plant a column here. I don't want it to shoot out. Okay, here too, we are going to have another planted column here. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Then lastly here, we are going to have another planted column. Yeah. So with this now, I think that people are joining that need. Oh, sorry. Someone is in the lobby.
Yes, I just checked it now and I'm observing it.
I'm so sorry. I was hearing people. Hello? Hello? I think I've accepted it. Hello? Can you speak up?
Him, but he has not unmuted himself.
Can you please unmute yourself? He has not unmuted himself. Can do that.
He has not unmuted himself.
Okay, let's continue. Probably he's having issues with that. Okay, maybe. I think we are done with the planting of columns now. We have planted a column here. We've planted another column at this point. With that, we have all our systems, like our roof beam. All our roof beam are properly supported now. So we now see on the first floor general arrangement that we have created that, okay, all the planted columns that we have created, where are they sitting on? Are they sitting on the right place? Is it that we are planting? Is it not that we are planting column on the slab? Are they sitting on the beam? So we need to confirm that now with all the planted columns that we have done now. That's the next thing we are going to do. I'll take this off. So I'll highlight and select similar. This is it. So these are all, we have planted how many columns? Generally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just 8 out of them. Then we copy and I take them up. This is how many meters? What did we use in taking this up? I've forgotten. Let's put this randomly. Okay, it's 50,000. That's good. Select another. Copy and I take it up. 50,000. Wow. Can you see that? We have this sitting on the beam. Are you there with me?
I am.
You can see all the planted columns we have created now. One is here. You understand my point? One is here, which is fine. Another 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 one is here, which is fine. There's another guy here, but this guy is not fine here. This is on the slab. You understand? So on that note, we are going to edit our first floor GA. We are going to extend this beam.
Okay.
Because we are not going to plant our column on the slab. Do you get that?
Yeah.
So with this now, we have confirmed that all the columns we have planted, that we do not plant them on slab and they are properly planted. They are all on beams. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So now, for if you like, I always prefer, you know, what we use cross to denote all the terminated columns. Terminated columns. What I used to do is I used to use half crossed to denote my planted column. So all this now, I will mark, I'll do the same to all of them. Because, you know, when they are printing on site, they will not print colored. They will print everything to be black and white.
Yes.
So it's always good you differentiate your columns with signs, with symbols, not. So with this, we are done. We can say we are just done with our first floor now, because it's after you have shown where your planted columns will be and you have ensured that they are properly supported. That's when you can say you are done with your first floor layout. Do you understand? And our roof beam, they are properly supported now. Let me take this off. 75,000. Are they really supported properly? This beam, this let's do it the way we did the last time. Let's run through their support system. I think that will be the last thing we'll be doing because they are done already. This beam, how is it going to be supported? This column that we are planted on the first floor, that is going to start on the first floor, is going to support this beam. So this beam is simply supported, and this beam running out from this column as the cantilever beam is going to support this beam. Let me check on this person again. Hello, Edu Jobi Habib. Please, can you unmute yourself? Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, sir.
It seems you joined the training late.
Yes, sir. I've joined before. I've been waiting before I caught the call. So I've gone to do something else. I just remember how the class again now. Something.
Okay.
For
I did not.
the other two classes, I've gone through the other two classes.
Okay, you have watched the videos.
Yes, I've watched the last two classes, sir.
Okay, so probably we are rounding up this. When we are done with what we are doing now, then we'll talk about your general view about it. Then we use that to round up everything. Then just conclude.
Okay. Okay, sir.
But as what we are doing currently, if you have any questions, so you can still comment. Just let me round up with it. Then we discuss everything you have watched. All right. So now we want to discuss this beam. Now, how is it going to be supported? It's a simply supported beam. This column is going to support it. Then we have this cantilever beam that is running over this column is going to support it, right?
Yeah.
Bro, yeah. Sorry, Mr. Swipe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what of this guy?
It's also simply supported.
Thank you. Let's move with that. This one also.
Simply supported.
Good. This guy, it has how many supports? This guy has how many supports?
That was about 3
3 supports. How many start from the ground floor?
Sir?
How many start from the ground floor?
2.
2. So we only have one planted that is going to start from the first floor. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So is a beam that has how many spans? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 spans. 1, 2, 3, 4. The whole of this is a span because this beam is going to be a secondary beam on this beam here. So it's a single span. Then here, this beam, how is it going to be supported here?
It's a secondary beam to this vertical beam.
Okay, good.
This vertical
Here?
beam that you are pushing is primary.
Yeah. Here?
Yeah. I think it is also secondary beam to the beam under, sir.
Okay.
To the vertical beam.
Yes, you're right. Here?
Yeah, it is supported by color. No. Yeah. I think it is acting as primary beam there.
Yes, it's a primary beam here. And what's the type
Primary
of
beam.
what type of beam is it at this end?
Simply supported beam.
Cantilever.
Is a cantilever. Is a cantilever.
Cantilever.
Is this one that is simply supported, Mr. Swab, right? This one is simply supported.
That one is simply support.
This extension here is a cantilever. Okay, let's move. This is the next horizontal beam. How many spans? 2 spans. It has 2 columns and it has 2 columns and it has 2 columns and I'm feeling this beam will fail.
Huh?
Okay, it should not fail.
Is it this horizontal? You are talking about this horizontal beam, Abi?
Yes, I'm talking about this.
This vertical. Okay, this one.
Yes.
It is supported by beams because the 2 columns there, they are planted columns.
Yes. No, it's not supported. You know the planted columns are on the first floor. So and we are working on the roof.
They are on the first
So the
roof. Okay, we are
planted
working on the
columns.
roof.
Yes. So the
Yeah,
planted columns, so it's supported by this column, supported by this column, and it's going to act as a secondary beam to this vertical beam.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So I think generally I've observed we have all on that. Huh? Someone want to say something?
Hello? I'm back.
Hello, yes. You're saying something?
Yeah, I just took an excuse to do something.
Okay. No problem. So with this, I think we have all understood the concept of using beam to support beam. That is so I think with that we are done with our what's it called? Our first floor and roof floor GA general arrangement. So now the next thing, because by the time we want to use our software, what we are going to use for ProtaStructure, we are going to import our grid lines to start our modeling. So I always prefer to include my what's it called, grid lines before I do my export into ProtaStructure. When we get to ProtaStructure, you're going to understand what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say in essence currently is I'll superimpose the grid lines on the layout now. So how am I going to do that? You know, this guy is a grouped drawing. So, but we are still going to use that as our reference. I'll take this, take it back by 75,000. It's on the drawing. Then I'll highlight this. I'll highlight this. Highlight this. Okay. And highlight the vertical grid lines too. Are you all with me? Copy.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. E8, I'll use E8 as my reference. This is E here, and this 8 is E8. E8 is this point. So there is E8. E8 is here. Okay. With this now, I've planted my green line on it. So I can take this back. 5,000. Okay. No big deal. Okay. What's this one not going? Okay. I'm just trying to ensure everything is properly done. No overlapping.
Malik.
Okay. Okay. Okay, to name this, I'm going to extend this too. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay, that's fine. So with this, I've superimposed my grid lines. I can take it to the first floor too. To the first floor layout we created. Okay, but wait 1 minute. I want to do something. Okay, it's just great. Good. 50. We take it up by 50 mm. Is on it. Now, there are some beams that does not fall on the grid line. The way ProtaStructure works is it works with grid line. So if there is no grid line, you cannot draw it. You cannot draw any structural elements on it. So what we are going to do is we are going to create grid line for everything, for all the structural elements, be it beam and column. Do you understand? That is going to make our modeling easier and faster. So what I'll do is I'll offset 115, that was the center of our beams, Abi, because the width of our beam is 230. So if you take half of it, you're going to have 115. I'll take an offset of that. Which other, what was it called, does not have grid line? This one has. Let's stop it. Stop it here. Okay, which I'm going for the horizontal first. Any horizontal that doesn't have grid line, we are going to create grid line for it. Any horizontal beam that does not have. So this we have created. This one has. This one has. This one too has. Right? Please, are you following me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This beam too has. This beam does not have. So we are going to create offset 115. We are going to create a grid line for it. Okay. Then which other one? This one has. This one too has. Which other beam? So all the horizontal beams now, they all have grid line. They all have grid line. They all have grid line. Now the next one, we go for the vertical. The vertical, this one does not have grid line. We take an offset. Offset. I extend it. You have to extend it. Avoid your drawing being clumsy. Just extend it a bit. Then I'm going for the vertical. This one has. This beam has. This beam has grid line. This one too has. This one does not have. We take an offset 225, 115 rather. Are we following me?
Yes, sir.
This one, this next vertical beam has. This one does not have. We are going to create a grid line for it. So the next one, this one has. I'm going for beam first. This one has. This one has. This one does not have. So we extend a little bit. We extend a little bit. Do you understand that? So with this now, I'm done with all my beams. All my beams, they have both vertical and horizontal grid lines. So I will now check columns. There are some columns that might have on the horizontal, they will not have on the vertical. I will check if all my columns, if they all have grid line. This one, does it have vertical and horizontal? Yes. This one, does it have vertical and horizontal? Yes. This one, yes. This one too, yes. This one too, yes. This one, yes. This one too, yes. This one, yes. This one, yes. This one too, yes. This one, yes. This one too, yes. This one, yes. This one, yes. This one, no. You see, this one, it has only vertical and horizontal, but does not have vertical. So we are going to create a grid line for it. I think it's on the same grid line with this guy. Yes, very good. So we extend it. This one has both on vertical and horizontal. This one too has both on vertical and horizontal. This one too has on vertical and horizontal. Yes, this has, this has, this has, this has. So with this, we can say all our columns and beams, they all have grid lines, right? Both on the vertical and horizontal axis, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I need your response. We're almost done. Just you give me like 15 more minutes just for me to round up what I want to do.
I don't know.
Okay. Did we create that you have not merged the property? None. None. Now the next thing now that I always prefer to do is my slab outline. because if you want to draw your slab outline, everything that when you are using your ProtaStructure, it, as I've said, it deals with grid line. So I always prefer to convert my slab my slab outline. I'll convert it to grid line also. So to do that, I always prefer to have a copy of this drawing, because this is what I will later edit to finish work. 50, let me just take it by 50,000 away. What am I talking about? This is a cantilever slab. This is another cantilever slab. This is another cantilever slab. This is not a slab, it's a void. So this slab, the outline of this slab, I'll convert them to grid line. So this is what I'm talking about. I'll extend this a little bit. I'll extend this a little bit. This one too, I'll extend it one more. This one, I'll extend it a little bit. This one too, I'll extend it a little bit. This one, I'll extend it a little bit. This one, I'll extend it a little bit. Then I will convert everything to grid line. You are going to appreciate what I'm doing now when we start our modeling. Because if you don't do all these things now, later, you'll be doing unnecessary calculation. But with this thing you are doing now, is going to convert your grid line, your slab outline to grid line. So with this, you can easily draw your slab. You can draw your slab by any of the options that the software is going to provide. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. I've done. It should mean this. On match property, it's a grid line. Match this. Then I've said I will not model this standalone column. It's not a structural element. Okay. Which other one is left? Don't think we have any. Okay, this guy too, we need to offset it because there is no end to this beam now. We need to offset it 115. This should mark the end of the beam. Okay. Yes. Okay, here too, you have to do the same thing. Convert this guy to a grid line. Okay, with this we have all our structural elements, slab, beam, and column. Now on the first floor layout, they all have grid lines. They all have grid lines. They all have grid lines. Other things that we are going to create, we are going to be measuring them. If there is need to create more grid line in the software, we are going to measure with reference to any of the existing grid lines when it's time to model them. I'm referring to this roof layout. You know, everything I've done now, all I've done, I worked on just only the first floor layout alone. I've not done anything as per, okay, confirming the grid lines for the structural elements if they have both vertical and horizontal. You understand? So when I want to do my finishing, that's when I'll work on the roof. But as for the modeling, this drawing is set for modeling. Is set for modeling. With this, we can model our first floor in maximum 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we are done. With what we have done now, we are done with the modeling within 10 to 15 minutes, we'll be done. Do we understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, any question generally?
Is it, sorry,
This I'll take
Is
this
it
off.
only in ProtaStructure you can carry out the modeling?
No, no. You can also model.
Can
You know, the scope of the training, you are meant to use two software. We are going to use two softwares. We are going to use both ProtaStructure and Start Pro. On Start Pro works with points. It does not work with Gridline. So what I'm doing now is I'm just preparing this drawing for ProtaStructure. Then when it's time for Start Pro, then we prepare the drawing for it too. Do you understand?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is it applicable in Orion?
You know, yes. Orion is just like Start Pro, mini Start Pro. How do I say that?
Because I know I have Orion.
You have Orion. That's fine.
Yeah, I have Orion.
Orion is similar to ProtaStructure. There is just
Okay.
little thing. Just let me say, ProtaStructure is just like a modified Orion.
Okay.
So there is little differences between them, and I'm not sure. I think they have compatibility issues. There might be tendency of if you install ProtaStructure, your Orion might not work. I don't know. I'm not so sure. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
But it depends on probably on your system.
But
you have
the installation of the software, I've installed the two software, but I didn't see a crack file for Start Pro. And for this ProtaStructure, yes, sir.
Okay.
Version 5.3, I downloaded it from Get Into PC. So during the process of installation, I think I downloaded the video too. So I didn't see the crack file there. So I was not able to crack it. This ProtaStructure too, I've installed, but to crack, and voila,
which version did you download?
That Prota is 2019.
2019. I don't have the 2019 crack, but I used 2018 and it's working fine. I have the full version, I have the crack, I have the what's it called? And the Start Pro too, I have too. I'll share it with you guys. We'll discuss that on the group.
Okay, sir.
So any question generally on what I've done? Is there any question generally on what I've done? Hello, are we there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I don't have any question.
Okay. I don't have any question.
All right. Thank you so much. So I would like to end the class here. So our next class, what will be before the next class, we'll try and ensure that every one of us have the setup installed. So we won't be discussing anything about setup the next class because we're already far behind already. We are behind schedule.
Okay, so when is our next class? Tuesday, right?
Our next class will be on Tuesday, 1 to 3. If there is going to be any change, it's going to be on Tuesday, but the only thing might be time difference. It might be 1 or 2, it depends. But currently, let's have it as 1. If it's going to change to 2, I will inform you prior to that time.
Okay, sir.
All right. So I would like to stop here.
But hello, sir.
Yes, I'm with you.
I think the first class I watched the video. You said you are going to give us different files, different AutoCAD, the architectural drawings that we're going to work on. Is it after we finish the whole thing, we're going to start our own? Because I didn't mention it. I didn't talk about it again.
Okay. No. The only person that I've been following the class from day 1 till this moment is Mr. Swipe, and he already has his project that he's working on. I believe you can confirm that to him.
Okay, sir.
I mean, Mr. Swipe, you can confirm that to him that you have a project that you're working on. I don't think he's online.
He's not online again.
Okay. Oh, he has his project. So since you have joined now, I will message you privately on the group, on the Discord chat. Then I will send your project to you.
Okay, sir.
You are going to work on different projects. He has his own project and he has started work on it already.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
And
sir.
it's not a problem. You're welcome.
All right, sir.
So based on the videos that you have watched, what do you have as challenge or question generally, or what you feel is not okay by yours?
Yes, I'm still okay with it, but maybe when I started practicing on my own, then I can reach out
So
one or two questions.
you understood everything, Abi?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I really enjoy your class.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. So on that note, I would like to end this class there. So we'll continue our discussion on the Discord.
Okay, sir.
All right. Have a nice weekend, everyone.
Okay. Weekends has finished already.
Okay, that's all.
This is almost 4. And today is Sunday.
Oh, okay. Let's hope for a blissful
Better.
weekday.
Okay, sir.
I think that would be a better word.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you.
See you next class.
All right, sir.